Welcome to this explainer. Today we're doing something really specific. We are completely decoding question 5 from the November 2023 Higher Tier Paper 2. We're going to unlock all 4 marks, and we'll show you the exact workings using the precise wording straight from the examiner's mark scheme. Let's get right into it.
Here is our exact roadmap for the breakdown. Number 1, decoding question 5. Number 2, securing the first mark. Number 3, finding the second ratio. Number 4, calculating Edexcel's values. And number 5, the final answer. All right, section 1, decoding question 5, the Mark Hunter framework. So here's the text straight from the paper. It reads, Chris, Debbie, and Edexcel share some money in the ratio 3 to 4 to 2. Debbie gets 120 pounds. Chris then gives some of his share to Debbie and some of his share to Edexcel. The money that Chris, Debbie, and Edexcel each have is now in the ratio 2 to 5 to 3. How much money did Chris give to Edexcel? You know, this is your classic redistribution problem. Our main target here is figuring out the exact amount passed directly from Chris to Edexcel.
Okay, moving to section 2, securing that first mark, earning P1.
The mark scheme explicitly states our very first requirement. It says, quote, P1 for process to work correctly with initial ratio, end quote.
Now, what's really cool is we actually have 2 distinct, completely acceptable calculation pathways to find the total starting money. Let's look at method A. You can take Debbie's of 120 pounds, divide it by her 4 parts to get the value of one single part, and then multiply that by the total 9 parts to get 270. Or, if you prefer, there's method B. You can figure out everyone's individual starting amount, right? That's 90 for Chris, 120 for Debbie, and 60 for Edexcel, and just add those all together. That also equals 270. Either way, you're effectively demonstrating that required process.
But you know what? The mark scheme is actually quite generous right here. Even if you didn't explicitly write out method A or method B, you still get this mark if you simply state the starting shares as 90 to 120 to 60. Seriously, it can also be implied if you just happen to write a second ratio somewhere else in your working that correctly totals 270.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that 270 represents our entire pool of money. It's the literal foundation for the rest of this problem. Finding this number, or at least showing the process to get it, well, that's your golden ticket to the first mark. Next up, section 3, finding the second ratio. This is about earning that second P1 mark.
The exact wording from the examiner for the second P1 mark requires us to figure out what a single share is actually worth in the new, updated ratio of 2 to 5 to 3.
And here's exactly how we execute that. Step 1, we add the parts of the new ratio together. So 2 plus 5 plus 3, that equals 10 total parts. Simple enough. Step 2, we take that total pool of money we just found, our 270, and we divide it by these 10 combined parts.
Do that, and it gives us exactly 27. And that 27 is the monetary value of one single part in this newly distributed pool. Simply showing this division process on your paper secures your second P1 mark. It's that straightforward.
All right, section 4, calculating Edexcel's values. Time to earn the third P1 mark. Now, to secure this third process mark, it is absolutely not enough to find just one value. The mark scheme is very specific here. It stresses a complete process. We have to calculate both his starting amount and his final amount. To pull this off, we first find his new total. We do this by taking our newly calculated single part of 27 and multiplying it by his new ratio share of 3. That gives us 81. Then we need to compare it to his original value. Remember how we do that? We take Debbie's original 120, divide it by her 4 parts, and then multiply it by Edexcel's 2 original parts to get 60. So, let's take a step back. If you have successfully hit these 4 numerical milestones on your paper, total money found at 270, new single part found at 27, Edexcel's old total at 60, and Edexcel's new total at 81, or honestly, even if you just showed the clear mathematical processes to reach them, you've essentially captured all 3 available process marks according to the official examiner criteria. Which brings us to section 5, the final answer, earning the A1 mark. We always have to loop back to the exact question being asked to make sure our final calculation actually aligns with their specific request. We need the precise amount transferred from Chris to Edexcel. The logic to finish this off is incredibly straightforward. Step 1, take Edexcel's new total, which is 81 pounds. Step 2, subtract Edexcel's old total, which is 60 pounds. And step 3, well, that difference is exactly what Chris handed over to him. That simple subtraction lands us directly on our final answer of 21.
Now, the mark scheme strictly awards this final mark as A1 cow. That stands for Accuracy Mark 1, Correct Answer Only. That means there is literally zero margin for error here. You either have 21 written down and you get the mark, or you don't.
Getting that 21 means you didn't just understand the underlying math, but you perfectly navigated the rigid logic of the exam's instructions, step by step, to hunt down all 4 marks.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, here's a question for you to ponder. The next time you face a really intimidating multi-step problem, how will you break it down into an exact methodical hunt for every single mark?